Okay, so as promised, let's take a little look at some of the stuff that we are doing around here and messing with. What we got here is we're building two trail trucks to compete in Recon G6 competitions. Basically, what that is it's the particular trucks that I'm doing are a 1.9 inch tire scale off-road vehicle. We're doing two of them. One of them, this first one here, is what Axial Racing manufactures the kit, and it's called a Trail Honcho. It's it's vaguely resembles a Toyota Tacoma, is what it kind of comes out with. The other one that we're working on is also from Axial. It's a Jeep Unlimited Wrangler Rubicon. So the Trail Honcho, which is this first one that we'll be taking a look at here, this guy, is a kit that I built a couple of years ago, and I actually never really finished it. So we're going to be finishing this up, and the Wrangler is a ready-to-run kit. This one here was a kit. I built it from pieces, and like I said, the Wrangler is ready to run. It comes fully assembled, comes with all the electronics in it. Basically, you just add batteries to it and you're ready to go. I come from the racing side of radio control. That's primarily what I did for years and years and years. I've kind of found that kind of drifted away from it a few years ago for better lack of a reason. I think age catches up with us all, and the reflexes and so forth aren't quite as fast as they once were. So these here have kind of caught my eye because it's a timed competition, but it's a very laid back, it's very relaxed. It's almost just kind of like a bunch of buddies out driving RC trucks. Kind of fun. And I really like the scale aspect of it. You make your trucks try to look like real trucks, and you actually have to drive them in a real truck fashion. This particular chassis, this is an SCX10 chassis from Axial Racing. It's essentially the same chassis on both vehicles that we'll be doing. The only difference essentially is the body. The Honcho, which is the Toyota Tacoma version, the main difference is it has a front-mounted battery, where the Jeep has a rear-mounted battery. And for pretty much the only reason I can see for that is the difference in the bodies. That's where they can fit it. But we're going to change that a little bit. We're going to do something a little bit different with the batteries, which is what we'll be kind of talking about here in this video. As you can see, there's a dedicated battery box here that would fit a 6-cell NiCad battery or a nickel metal hydride battery. But we're not going to be using that. We are going to use this tray. What we're going to be using for batteries is we're going to be using 2200 milliamp lithium polymer batteries. But we're going to use 3 of them. One battery is going to be located up here in the front in the regular battery tray, kind of like that. This battery here is only going to be used to work our winch in the front here. We've already installed the winch. Like I say, that is an actual working winch in the front of this. It is wireless. It has a little key fob remote that the winch operates on, which is kind of cool. You don't have to have the third channel on your radio to operate the winch. You can do it from the remote. But that's what this battery is going to power up. It's going to power up the winch. And the tray is actually, with the smaller size of the 2200 light lithium polymer battery, we're going to be able to mount our winch, hope my fingers aren't in the way here, our winch controller right in the front as well. So that's what we're going to be doing there. What we're going to do for our motor battery, okay, once again, we're still going to use 2200 milliamp, but we're going to use two of them, and we're going to put them in on a Y harness, and we're making some custom battery trays that will go on either side of the chassis, like so. And basically what we did to come up with these is we bought a sheet at this particular expanded metal is from the Home Depot, and we bought a sheet of it that's, oh gosh, I think it's 15 or 16 inches long and 14 inches wide, something like that, and it was $9.99. So with that we get a lot of pieces out of it. So what we've done is we take a 2-inch by 6-inch piece of that, cut it out, and then we fold the ends, one end up and the other end up and one side up. Now what we're going to do on the other side is we're going to, I did try actually welding this, and the minute I touched it with my welder, the metal is thin enough, it just disappeared. So, and I don't have a small torch that we can braze it, so what we are going to do is we're going to silver solder. We're going to silver solder our joints here, and we're going to silver solder these little lugs on. And what these are little electrical spade terminal lugs, and they are essentially going to go on like so. There'll be two of them, one here and one here, and we'll silver solder those on as well. And what we'll do on our truck is on the rock rails on the side here, I hope I'm showing this good, there's, a screw here and a screw here that, hold these on. We're going to loosen these screws, and those little tabs will slide down in there and hold our battery box in position on top of the rock rail, like so. And they're not the only thing that's going to hold this on. We're also going to put two Velcro straps around that will hold the battery, but it will also go around this part of the rock rail, and it will give it some extra support as well. So they won't be coming off. But we're going to put them down the side, and that's going to do a couple of different things. Number one, it's going to put our batteries, rather than all the weight being up here high on the chassis, it's going to put our batteries here and in the same place on the other side. And what that will do is it's going to put more weight down lower on the center line of the chassis. So it's going to, improve, in theory, I'm hoping, our center of balance. I don't know if I'm center of balance, that's not right. But it's going to lower our center of gravity. Weight-wise, it's going to put it down. So it should make for a better handling truck. And there'll be a battery here, and there'll be another battery here. And we've also made our new battery holders long enough where we can adjust our battery forward and back. So if we want more rear weight, we can move the battery back. If we want more front weight, we'll move the battery forward. So it's going to give us some adjustability as well. Now what we're going to do, oops, sorry about that. So what we're going to do is, I've already bent one of these up, and I'm going to bend the other one up, and I will solder on our tabs, and we'll see how they fit. And after we get that done, what I will do is I'll give them a coat of paint, and after the paint dries, I'm going to give them a coat of spray-on Plasti-Dip rubberized coating. So it should make it a little bit like almost like a rubbery surface for the battery to sit on, and it will keep it from, you know, rusting. So that's what we're going to be working on in this little segment, and let me get at these, and I'll come back and show you what I come up with. Okay, so we've got our both of our battery crooked here. Both of our battery holders are bent up. Got them both finished, and I've silver soldered on the little eyelets on there, like so. And the little eyelets loosen the two bolts for that hold on the rock rail here, these two bolts, and they slip right over the two bolts, tighten the two bolts up, and there you have it. And this one here, of course, goes over here. We have one on either side. So the only thing left to do to these, like I say, is I'll put a coat of paint on them, and then I will put a coating of Plasti-Dip on top of these. So if we take a look at the ones I've already got finished on our Jeep chassis, hopefully this shows up here. This is basically what they look like on here, all done. And that one there is holding a battery in place. Now this here, you can see off of our speed control, I've made a Y harness which will go in, and kind of hard. One battery plugs into this Y and the other battery plugs into that Y, and that gives us a combined capacity of the two batteries of 4,400 milliamps, but we still maintain our 7.4 volts, which the two cell lipos are. So there you go, and that's the third battery, and this one here is back here, and that will run the winch just like the other. And when we actually get it to that point, it will also run our lighting system. We're going to put, I have one so far, but I haven't installed it. I still have to get another one. We are going to put Axial's night vision light system in both of these trucks, as well as the winch. So there you go. That's how you make some side saddle, if you will, battery holders fairly inexpensively for the SCX10, and these will work with any of the variations of the SCX10. I'm sorry. The Trail Honcho, the Jeep Rubicon, the Dingo, any of these. I believe the new G6 Wrangler that they're coming out with. Any of these, you should be able to, fairly inexpensively make these battery holders for it. Now, the other thing that I've made out of the same material is these. Very simple. Just cut out a piece like that. And what these are well, what do you want to call them? Let's call them sand rails, sandboards. They're traction aid that you can carry on the truck with you. If you can carry it on the truck, it's considered a scale accessory. And you know, the sand ramps like these are something that the full-size off-roads use. So you're actually able to use these in G6 competitions. If you can lay them down if you get stuck and drive up on them. If you have an obstacle to go over and you can't quite start up on it, you can lay them up on here and make yourself a ramp to go up on. But they're made out of the same expanded metal material. I made 4 of these, 2 of them for each truck. So there you have it. That's as easy as that stuff is. And this stuff is very easy to work with, and you can make. It's very handy for making all kinds of different bracketry, mounts, and stuff like that. It's strong, lightweight, and very easy to form and whatnot. So there you go. That's our battery holders, which I'll go ahead and put a coat of paint and some plastic dip on these, and we'll finish these up. And then we'll move into our next little project in our next video. Our next video is going to be, we're going to start waterproofing our electronics. The one thing that these trucks do is they go in any weather, snow, sleet, rain, sun. Competitions are held in any terrain, including water. And as we all know, water is bad thing for anything electronic. So what we're going to do is we're going to waterproof these vehicles, and I'm not talking water resistant. We're going to actually make them waterproof. When we get done, we'll actually be able to submerge these trucks in water, and they will still function with no ill effects. So until we get together and talk about that, take it easy.